Hello guys. So we were reading Theong fanfic Crybaby last time, and because of some reasons, I told you guys that there was some issue with Wattpad, and it wasn't like I couldn't able to solve that issue at that time, but thankfully I've already solved it. So I'm here to continue the story that we left in the middle last time. So last time, let's have a recap. Okay, so last time we read that Ryan and BTS actually end up being friends, and the funny part is Ryan actually thought, sorry, Ryan, not Ryan, Soeun. So here the Ryan's name is Soeun. So Soeun thought that BTS were actually trying to kidnap her because she didn't knew them that much. So that was funny, and they became friends. And then we also have Jackson, who is evil, so evil. He's a bully, and he always bullies Soeun. And this time as well, he tried to bully her, but BTS were there and they saved her. But she was like embarrassed, or I don't know. She was really like, when BTS stood up for her and tried to save her from Jackson, and the reaction the people around her gave her, they were jealous and they were hating her. She, as an introvert person, she suddenly became visible to everyone in the school, and that was kind of really, I think, stressful for her to handle it. I don't know, but that made her really scared, embarrassed. So she just ran away. So that was the story we read in the last part. If you guys like it, sorry, if you guys haven't watched it yet, I mean, it's not watching channel. Anyway, I'm just talking like a radio. I don't know, should I call it like a radio, guys? What do you think? Okay, the stories, yeah, just audio stories. So if you guys like, you can, if you haven't seen, again I'm saying scene, okay, a scene is fine, it's YouTube. If you haven't seen the stories, the second, third part, the first part of this Crybaby fanfic, then just go and check it out. Okay, so now I'm going to continue. We left at chapter 12 last time. Okay, let's check out. I hope my voice is clear to you guys. It's taking time. Please be free to comment whenever you want and talk to me. So this was 11th chapter, and she was really like, maybe it's better if she didn't get close to the boys at all. After all, she's nobody. As everyone was trying to, you know, being jealous of her and cursing her, giving death glare, and Sion was like really scared and she ran away. Everyone was whispering and giving her like nasty looks. So she ran away. So after that, we're gonna toilet. She's in the toilet. The toilet, Sion ran to the toilet as soon as the rocks opened. I don't know what rugs are, maybe the doors. Well, a bigger rugs because she didn't expect the boys to come and meddling in her problems. She was afraid. Can we find out what rugs mean? Is it possible to find the meaning? I don't think it's possible. Anyways, let's move on. She was afraid of what she wa- she was afraid of what she will face from now on. The bullying was already this bad, but she knew that it will get worse as BTS stood up for her. She thinks that now the bullying are going to get worse because people are going to get more jealous of her. Like before, only Jackson was torturing her, but now as even the girls who are fan of like BTS, they are also going to chase her and bully her. With Jackson and the boys' fangirls, things are going to get complicated. Soeun cried her eyes out, of course silently. She stayed at the toilet after a few minutes before she calmed down. She took a few of deep breaths and get out of the toilet. She tried to get out of sight. She didn't want to bump into anyone, especially the fangirls. The crazy and obsessed ones. They are the most dangerous ones. If she bumped into one of them, then she will be doomed. Yeah, Lesion. Oh crap. Lesion turned her face to the direction of the voice. There were three girls with a lot of makeup caked in their face. Sion recognized the middle one. She is Kang Minju, the popular one at school. She was tall and she had a flawless face. The girls conquered Sion with a annoyed face. Who are you to get close with the most popular boy band here? Sorry, I'm fumbling. She asked, glaring at Sion. Don't you get close to them. Minju pointed Sion's forehead. How in the world actually you got close to them? Tell me about it. I don't know how either. This is true. She just met them. Like, actually, they approached her, so it's not even her fault that she ended up meeting them. Sion looked at the ground and bit her lips. Comparing to us, Minju motioned herself and her friends using the finger. You are. She scanned Sion with a disgusted face. Ah, you are not even our level. Minju frowned her eyebrows. Let me just get this straight, she said, glaring at Sion. Don't get near to those pretty boys, especially to my Taeyong, she warned, creeping into Sion's shirt, slamming her to the wall. Remember what I said, or else you will experience hell, she threatened and walked away with her friends. Get it? As soon as they walked away, Sion squatted and and cried miserably. Everything was happening so fast. 1 second she was minding her own business. Jackson was bullying her every day. And then 1 second she was suddenly forced to hang out with Bangtan. Maybe she is going to experience hell. Like, this wasn't like enough help for her before, like Jackson, how he was bullying her. I can't just forget that horrible moment, like how Jackson bullied her. And she's saying that, like, that wasn't enough help for her. Like, enough, that wasn't enough hellish for her. She's like now experiencing hell. Anyways, let's move on. After a few minutes, she stood up and she went to class, but Bangtan members saw her and flew to her direction. As soon as they did that, Soeun shuddered in fear and immediately backed away from them. Where are you going, Soeun? We were worried, Namjoon said, with a concerned tone. Soeun didn't look at Namjoon as her brain was thinking about Minju's word. Don't get near to those pretty boys. Remember this or you will experience hell. Minju's words ringed at Soeun's brain. She still didn't look at the boys. Her gaze stays in the ground. Why are you looking at the ground? Did you drop money? Jungkook asked. You cried again, didn't you? Taeyong asked with a cold tone. When he saw Soeun's eyes were puffy, when Soeun looked at Taeyong in a second, then she looked at the floor again. Are you okay? Yoongi asked, this time concerned. Why are you not answering us? Jin asked with a worried tone. Did something happen while they were not here with her? Okay, so Jin is worried, like did something happen while they are not here with her? Soeun looked up and sniffed. Please, go away from me. Don't talk to me. Please ignore me. She begged to the boys. The boys were so shocked. Their expressions are priceless. Eh? Their expressions are priceless. I don't get it. Okay. What are you talking about? Namjoon asked. Why are you suddenly saying things like this? I don't know what you guys want from me. Please, just leave me alone, Soeun said. Without saying anything further, she ran away. Ah, what a long day. Soeun can't even focus in class with all the stares and whispers she got from today. Of course, she got used to the treated like this. She got to be she got used to be treated like this. Everyone treats her like this. She is an outcast in this school. Everyone must be wondered why a loser like her got to hang around with the popular boys. It was already recess. Everyone went out to run to the cafeteria. Soeun wanted to go to the cafeteria too, of course, but she didn't like the stairs. She was reading her notes when someone suddenly tapped her shoulder. She turned and saw Taeyong standing behind her chair with a blank look on his face. Soeun frowned. Come with me, he said with a low voice. But Soeun didn't even move. Taeyong groaned. And then Soeun heard footsteps and noticed that all of the other members ran to her. Hi, Namjoon said, smiling. Soeun frowned her eyebrows. Come with us, he said, walking in front, and Taeyong grabbed Soeun's arm. What? No. We won't take no as an answer now. Come with us, Namjoon said and walked out of the class. The girls shot murderous glares to Soeun as they saw Taeyong grabbing her arm. Where are we going? Soeun asked curiously. She was still struggling to remove herself from Taeyong's touch. Hey, let me go, Soeun said, but Taeyong didn't do anything. To eat, Jimin said. We are going to eat and you are eating with us. Jimin smiled to her. Soeun's eyes widened. Sit down, Soeun, Jin said sweetly. He tapped the seat that was beside him, but Soeun was hesitating. Just sit down, Soeun. We won't eat you. Jin's Jin sighed and stood up. He pushed her shoulder and forced her to sit down. There, that wasn't a, that wasn't so hard, isn't it? Jimin gave Soeun his extra tray and put it on the table. Here, it's yours, cutie. Don't worry, I don't put poison in it. I didn't put poison in it. He smiled cutely and winked at her. Scary. Oh my god. She always feels like these guys are, you know, going to do something bad to her. Like, yeah, what kind of experience she had till now. It's like, of course, it's scary for her to trust someone. It's difficult. So, yeah, she's scared, even though they are treating her nicely. All the boys were now seated. It's making Soeun anxious because she was sitting at the boys' table. Not just any table, but the popular one's table. What the hell is happening? So, this is where the part 12th, yes, the part 12th ended, and the comments are like, I am delicious though. Nah, she dropped her mic drop. I don't know what these comments are any related. I just want to comfort her right now and teach her how to love herself. Definitely. I want to do the same. She's like, when people are treating you nicely, still you don't trust them and you are like, and who the fuck are you? At least I'm pretty without makeup in real though. What? What are these comments? Imagine them as the true beauty bitches. Okay, I've never gone. Okay, let's move on to the part 13. Please comment how you guys feel about this, because I'm kind of like last time I told you guys that I kind of started to like it. So yeah, let me continue. Part 13. Why aren't you eating? Jin asked worriedly. The food here is not that delicious, but it's alright, Jin said, shoving a hamburger in his mouth. Soeun gulped and looked at the boys. Theong, Jimin, and Jin was beside her, and Namjoon was sitting in front of her, followed by Hoseok, Yoongi, and Jungkook. Why are you guys doing this to me? Soeun asked as tears were gathering up at the corner of her eyes. She looked at her lap. What do you mean by that? Theong asked as his eyebrows frowned. Soeun bit her lips and looked up. All the boys are looking at her. I asked you guys to ignore me. We won't do that, Soeun. We are friends now, remember? Namjoon said with a soft voice. Why are you telling us to ignore you? Namjoon said yet again, but this time his tone was more sadder. But her words were cut. No buts, Soeun. Is it that wrong to be friends with you? Hoseok asked. No. Again, her words were cut, this time by Yoongi. It's not wrong then. That means we can be friends with you. Please, just let me talk for once. I don't understand why you all suddenly want to get close to me. What is your motive? Soeun asked. We don't have any motives, Bangtan said in unison. We just wanted to be friends with you, they said again. Seon sighed in defeat. But I don't like getting attentions, she murmured. Jungkook bugged his head and looked at the crowds that were slowly surrounding them. What are you guys looking at? Jungkook stood up and said while his mouth was full of food, making all of them looking at him. Okay, okay, bunny boy, sit down and calm yourself, Namjoon said, chuckling. His hands were rubbing Jungkook's shoulder. Calm yourself, Hosok said. He put his hands together. All of the boys followed his actions. Seon frowned, looking at them confusingly. Then Jin stood up and clapped his hands. All the attention were at him now. Everyone was in awe on his visuals. Oh my god. I can imagine. Okay, guys, mind your own business, Jin said, smiling. As soon as these words leave the devilish prince's lips, all of them stopped looking at them almost instantly. Seon's eyes went wide. See, there is no attention on us now, Jin said, smiling, and tapped Seon's head. You okay? He said, continued eating. She only can pray that she is going to be okay. I think it's time for class. Let's go, Namjoon said. Out of the blue of he looked at his luxury watch. All of the boys got up. Seon was about to take her tray, but someone already took it. Taeyong was walking away with two trays in his hand. Seon blinked. Thank you, she said, and Taeyong didn't give any response. They all walked to their class. They dropped Seon off to her class, which is also Taeyong's and Jimin's class, and all the attention was on them. Seon sighed and walked to her seat, but she stumbled on a foot. High heels, she gasped and fell. The girl was putting an innocent face. Taeyong was behind her and quickly helped her up when she fell. Taeyong shot the girl with a death glare. What do you think you're doing? Taeyong was going to grab on her collar but stopped when Seon grabbed on his arm. Hey, don't! She looked at Taeyong and shook her head. Taeyong sighed and walked to his seat. Jimin was already on his chair ages ago. He was sitting with his girlfriend, Jihye. Seon sat down and took out her notebook and her pencil case. She was going to do some revision before the teacher comes. Taeyong was sitting beside her, listening to music with his earphones. Seon signed when it was already 20 minutes after the class starts. The teacher is not coming, I guess. She gathered her things and put it inside her bag. She was staring into space. Young looked at Seon and leaned near her, taking one of his earbud and shoving it into Seon's ear. Seon flinched and looked at Taeyong. Relax. Taeyong looked at her blankly. He showed Seon his earbud. Listen to this. Don't just read the books all the time. Seon looked at Taeyong and frowned her eyebrows. Her fingers adjusted the earbud properly. It's just a melody, no voice. Just relaxing piano melody. Plus, with some guitar melody. Seon looked at Taeyong as her left eyebrow jumped. Just listen. He looked away and looked at the window. It makes you calm and you hear it as you hear it. Thank you, Kim Taeyong. Seon thanked him politely. Just call me Taeyong. He looked at Seon with a boring face. Or we. he added. We? Soeun said, chuckling. What kind of name is that? She giggled. It's my stage name. He looked at Soeun, which is still giggling. Stop giggling, Taeyong groaned in annoyance. Call me Taeyong. Don't call me by my full name. It's too formal, Taeyong said, looking at the window. We are friends now. Soeun just nodded. Friends? Okay, class. Okay, class, sorry I'm late. I got a meeting, Mr. Jung said politely, and all the students nodded in understanding. Okay, everyone, I checked all of your work and all of you did surprisingly good, Mr. Jung said proudly. But Mr. Jung looked at Soeun and Taeyong. Taeyong, did you actually help Soeun with the group work? Mr. Jung asked curiously. Taeyong had this blank look again as he looked back at the teacher. Say yes, Soeun said in her mind. Taeyong looked at Soeun and was she gave a signal to Taeyong to say yes. Yeah, I guess. Taeyong lied. The teacher looked surprised. You did? Mr. Jung's eyes went wide. Wow, now that's a surprise. Mr. Jung looked at Soeun. I think you should tutor Taeyong, Soeun, he said. Soeun's eyes were about to poke out from her sockets. What? Can you repeat that again, sir? Did I heard it wrong? Soeun asked again. She was unconvinced. You will be tutoring Taeyong you will be tutoring Taeyong from now on, Mr. Jung repeated. It will not be the hard considering you have wonderful results, Soeun. Soeun looked at Taeyong and he had his blank look again. It seemed like he doesn't care. She groaned and banged her head on the table surprisingly hard, resulting her to flinch silently in pain. She wiped the tears that escaped from her eyes because of the pain on her head was hurting so bad. Why? Why would she bang her head like so bad on the table? Tutoring, she murmured again, sighing. She looked at Taeyong that was now sleeping peacefully as he placed his head on the table. Tutoring, huh? Am I going to be okay? Oh, who said that? I think this Soeun said this. Tutoring, huh? Am I going to be okay? Is she going to be okay? Or there is we who is saying this? We are friends. The comments are like, we are friends. Yeah, you should. No need to use full name, girl. Just call me Taeyong. Someone wrote here like, yeah, but friends don't say words that make friends feel like more than friends from V's song Friends. Okay, how was it? We completed like 13th part of this fanfic. I'm curious what's going to happen next. Okay. So let me continue 14th part. You will be tutoring Taeyong from now on. Mr. Jung's word lingering in Soeun's head. Shit. That's all Soeun can say. She didn't want to tutor. She didn't want to tutor Kim Taeyong. No, it's not because she hated him. It's just Soeun had never tutored someone before. She needs a solution to get out of this problem. As soon as the bell rings, Seon flew out the class while grabbing her belongings. Seon went to the teacher's room and her eyes were searching for Mr. Jung. As soon as her eyes spotted him, she quickly dashed to his desk. Mr. Jung, she called. Mr. Jung stopped making the papers and looked up when he heard Seon call his name. He smiled as soon as he recognized Seon. Yes, Seon. Seon gulped and looked at the teacher again. Is there any chance I can change my partner, sir? She looked at the ground and played her fingers. Mr. Jun looked at Seon's disappointingly. No, Seon, you can't, he replied. Seon was the perfect partner for Taeyong to get his results higher. But, sir, no, Lee Seon, I'd have decided that you will be tutoring Taeyong this year, Mr. Jung told her. There is no changing partners, he said staringly as he continued making his papers. But you are dismissed, Mr. Jung said, arranging the files. People keep cutting me off these days. Seon bowed politely and went out of the teacher's room. She went outside expecting no one, but she spotted Jackson. She tried to ignore his existence, hoping that Jackson won't bother her this time. But that's never gonna happen. Jackson smirked darkly as soon as he saw Seon. He liked bullying her for no particular reasons. He just liked seeing her suffer and cry because of him. He jogged to Seon and smirked. Hey, who is this? He said with a dark tone. Ah, I remembered. This is the school's most pathetic person, Jackson said, looking at Seon. Jackson suddenly kicked Seon's leg. Catching her off guard, she yelped and groaned in pain. He chuckled at Seon. This is fun, he said, kicking her leg again. Jackson balled his I don't balled his hand into fist. Balled his hand into fist, planning to hit Seon's face. Seon closed her eyes in fright and braced herself and ready to bear the pain. But the pain never came. Enough is enough, she heard Jin's voice, and she slowly opened her eyes. Jin's hands were placed at Jackson's shoulder, and suddenly Jackson's face was squeezed in pain. So Seon assumed that Jin must be digging Jackson's shoulder with his nails. Taeyong's hand was covering Jackson's fist, forbidding him to touch Seon's face. Wow, this is like so filmy, like dramas going on, like oh, this is so amazing. What are you guys? Why are you all so noisy, so nosy with her business? Jackson screamed. He was frying up. He was having so much fun, but then these 7 guys just had to suddenly interrupt him. We, Namjoon trailed. We are her friends, you jerk, Namjoon said, pushing Jackson's shoulders, making his back slam to the wall. Yoongi suddenly grabbed Jackson's neck. If you touch her again, you are dead, Yoongi threatened him. Due to instinct, Jackson's hand quickly wrapped around Yoongi's hand that was choking his breath. Yoongi glared at Jackson. Jackson looked back at Yoongi, his hands tapping Yoongi's hand, signaling him to let go. Yoongi, enough, Namjoon said, and Yoongi tore his hands off Jackson's neck almost instantly. Jackson coughed violently and held his throat. While trying to catch his breath, he smirked at Bangtan. Go away from here. Go away from here, you bastard, Jimin said, sending him a death glare. Jimin kicked his leg. How does it feel? He asked. This is how you hurt Seon. Jackson looked at Seon. Wow, Seon, I'm impressed. How can someone like you get to seduce these 7 boys? Seon looked at her feet. He slumped and smirked again. You got some talents. And Theong rolled in anger and grabbed Jackson's collar. Didn't you heard what Jin Hyung said? He gritted his teeth. Enough is fucking enough, he said, glaring at Jackson. His eyes looked like he wanted to murder Jackson at the exact moment. Get the fuck away from here and don't bother her ever again, Theong said with a low voice, and Jackson ran as fast as he could. As soon as Jackson was out of sight, Seon was crying and Theong went in front of her. You okay? He asked in a surprisingly soft tone. Wow, so every time, Theong talked to Seon, he is like always in this strictly cold tone, and this is the first time he is like soft tone. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay, Seon answered timidly. She was still in shock on what happened seconds ago. Don't cry, Theong said coldly, but his fingers were wiping her tears. But Seon didn't stop crying after he said that. Instead, she sobbed even louder. No one has ever wiped her tears before. Taehyung quickly hugged Seon and tapped her back comfortably. Seon's eyes went big, but Taehyung's hug was comfortable. So she cried louder, and she was squeezing Taehyung. Taehyung didn't say anything and just hugged her until she was calm. He learned that hugs really calm people, especially when they are crying or feeling sad. After a few minutes, Seon broke the hug and looked at all the boys that have the same look on their face, sympathy. Seon didn't like the look on their face. She wiped her remaining tears and looked back at the 7 boys. What are you guys doing here? She asked curiously. We were searching for you, Jungkook and the youngest one said, flashing his famous bunny smile. Why? Her voice cracking. What do you mean, why? Jimin said. We are gonna walk you home. We are friends, remember? Jimin smiled. Friends? Seon trailed and Jimin nodded. Friends? Seon nodded. Taehyung grabbed Seon's bag and slid it to his shoulders. Seon tried to take her bag back, but Taehyung had forbidden her to do so. Shall we go, Shorty? Jungkook said, and the boys laughed. Seon just rolled her eyes, annoyed. Nuna, Seon said. Jungkook tilted his head without looking at Seon. Call me Nuna, Jungkook, Seon said again. We are friends. As soon as Seon said that, Jungkook's face closed. So finally, she said that yes, we are friends. So call me Nuna, Jungkook. This is so cute. I really find Jungkook's and Seon's relationship like so cute like that. The way he doesn't want to call her Nuna and the way he, tease her like friendly teases. That's so cute. Okay, so chapter 5. So why am I saying chapter 5? I just forget to say the one before the number. So it's chapter 15, guys. Okay, this is chapter 15. I think after this chapter, I'm going to end this live. So yes, stairs. It's those stairs again. Sion really hate those stairs. She didn't get used to get attention like this. She sighed, looked at the ground while walking. Oi, look up when you are walking. Theong snapped suddenly. His voice was rough, causing Sion to jump internally. She didn't look up. Her eyes were glued on the ground. Hey Sion, don't mind the stairs, okay? Yoongi said. They won't eat you, he said again. Suddenly, he looked at Jin. Well, maybe, expect for Jin Young. So he's like, expect for Jin Young, no one is going to eat you. Jin gasped dramatically. What do you mean by that? You eat everything, Yoongi said with a blank face. Jin was offended. All the boys giggled, and when Seon looked at Jin's priceless expression, Seon laughed out loud. Oh, she laughed, Namjoon explained excitedly. It was the first time Seon laughed when she was with them. As soon as Namjoon said that, Seon stopped laughing. She didn't realize she laughed that loud. You should laugh more, Jimin said. It's Jimin's words were cut by Theon. It's better than you crying all the time, he said with a monotone. Seon was taken aback by Taeyong's direct words. Be nice, Taeyong, Jin warned. Jin don't like the fact that Taeyong always blurt out what was on his mind like that. Think before you talk, why are you so mean? Jin nagged him. Taeyong just shrugged while his face remained blank. Anyway, Seon, it's the first time I heard you laugh. Hosok smiled. It's nice to see you laugh. Seon scratched her head. I guess, she said, unsure. Suddenly, someone bumped her on the shoulder accidentally. She stumbled back but gained her balance. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't saw you there. The person that bumped into Sion said with a fake worried tone. Watch where you going. Yoongi snapped and glared at the person. It's okay, Sion said, looking up. It was Minju. She secretly glared at Sion. Sion's eyes went wide as her heart was beating in an abnormal speed because she was afraid. Yoongi rolled his eyes when Minju gave him a fake, apologetic smile. Minju's eyes went to Taeyong's. Taeyong oppa, Minju called. Taeyong looked at her with a uninterested face. What? Can we talk for a bit? Minju said, with her sparkling as she looked at Taeyong. No. His tone harsh and cold. Minju frowned in response. Oppa! No, Kang Minju. I don't want to talk to you. He snapped roughly at Minju. She was getting on Taeyong's nerves. He walked off without saying anything. All of the boys looked at her for a bit and walked off. Let's go, Hosok said, hugging Sion's shoulder. Sion nodded and walked together with Bangtan. Sion looked back at Minju, which looked like she had been rejected. Minju was sending daggers to Sion. Sion quickly looked away because she was afraid. Sion is gonna tutor Theon, Jimin said, laughing while eating his strawberry ice cream. Instead of walking Sion home, Jin suddenly said he was hungry, so they decided to stop by at the nearby ice cream cafe. Tutor, Jin asked, while he was shoving his ice cream into his mouth with an incredible speed. Really? Yes, Seon nodded. I wish you luck, Yoongi said suddenly, making Taeyong shoot him a look. Seon just gave Yoongi a smile and continued eating her ice cream. Then silence took over them. You really don't talk much, do you? Hosok asked suddenly, making Seon look up. To be honest, she was really feeling awkward when she is with them. I have always been alone and it's completely fine. Then suddenly I have 7 boys with me. I still don't know what to do and what to say. Sorry, I am still not used to this, Sion said in a soft tone. You don't have to be sorry, Sion. It's alright, Yoongi said, looking at her and smiled. Yes, Sion, Jin said, rubbing her head. You don't need to be sorry. We are your friends now. Jimin giggled with his eye smile went to his attractive face. Seon just smiled and nodded. The next 2 hours passed with full of Jin's jokes and Hosok's craziness. Hosok was fooling around in the ice cream shop with Yoongi and Jungkook was doing breakdance. All of them laughed so hard until tears fall out from their eyes. Taeyong just sighed and rolled his eyes on how childish his friends are. Why? We love all these things. We love all these things, God. All of the customers giving them judging look, but they didn't care. I think it's time to bring you home, Yoongi said suddenly, killing the vibe. It was 6 p.m., so Yoongi was sure that Seon's parents will be worried sick because school ended 2 hours ago. Let us take you home. It's late. Your parents will be worried, he said, grabbing his bag. All of the boys stood up in unison. Seon's face fell. She was on the earth to cry, but she managed to suck her tears back in. No, they can't know about this. They can't know about everything yet. She smiled. Yes, yes, they will. Seon stood up, went to grab her bag, but Taeyong already slid her bag on his shoulder again. Taeyong, I'm gonna carry your bag, and that's it, Taeyong said, looking at Seon. Seon blinked. But I feel bad, Seon said as her hands went to take back her bag, but her words were cut. Don't be, Taeyong said, as he was already walking in front. You live here? Jin asked and looked at Seon's house. Correction, apartment. It was an ordinary apartment. The apartment was perfect for people that lives alone. Yeah, Sion trailed awkwardly while rubbing her neck. But if your apartment is here, you probably took at least 15 minutes if you walked to school. Namjoon, the clever one, said as he counts using his fingers. You walked to school, right, Nuna? Jungkook asked. Stating the obvious, Yoon looked at Jungkook and nodded. Yoongi looked at his watch. I think he should go inside now. I think you should go inside now, he said with his deep voice. Okay, just 1 minute, guys. I have to mute you. Hey guys, I'm back. So, where were we? Mm, yeah. Yoongi looked at his watch. I think you should go inside now, he said with his deep voice. Bye bye, Hosok said, waving his hands in the air like a child. Goodbye, she said formally. Thank you for everything today. She bowed respectfully to the boys. So formal, Jungkook said, teasing and rubbing her hair. All the boys chuckled. Soon huffed when she looked at the seven boys that is in front of her. She said, "A last, bye," and went inside her apartment. She signed, she signed, took off her shoes, and went inside her cold apartment. She signed. Maybe being friends with them wasn't so bad. Yes, being friends with him, these guys, is never bad, okay? Lucky girl. Oh, I'm so into I'm so into this fanfic now. I just want to keep reading. I know I told you guys that I'm gonna end this, but I don't feel like ending this, guys. I just feel like, yeah, one more chapter. Let's read one more chapter, okay? Okay, chapter number 16. Sion sighed. She felt extremely tired today. She thought about skipping school, but she knows she won't do that. She needed the scholarship, and in order to get the scholarship, she had to get a full attendance. About the full attendance is it's not a must, but Sion figured that she didn't want to take a risk. Honk honk. A car honk. Sion heard. A car honk. Who the heck? Sion woke up, letting out a light groan and went to her window. Her eyes were about to flew out from her socket when she saw a luxury car. What the hell is a luxury car doing here? Sion's eyes went wide when she realized that the car was no doubt Namjoon's. She ran as fast as she could to the toilet to get ready. She wore her uniform and get her things as she dashed out her apartment in a hurry. She heard the car honk again. Oh, the neighbors are gonna complain. Sion checked her watch. It was just 7 a.m. These boys sure are early. Why? Yeah, that's early. She muttered under her breath and started running. After she was out of the apartment, Sion was literally out of breath. She saw the seven guys standing outside the car with a bright expression, waving at her. They looked so excited, expect for two. Yoongi and Taeyong. They had their blank face. Okay. Sion assumed that Yoongi must be sleepy and Taeyong it was just his usual blank face. Sion forgot to tie her hair because she ran as soon as she saw their car. She went to them with a confused face. What are you guys doing here? She asked, and she crouched down to catch her breath because she ran. I should really go work out sometimes. My stamina is so weak. Yeah, that's so me. I'm also, my stamina is so low, guys. I need to work out like more. Okay. Good morning, Yoongi said sarcastically. We are gonna give you a ride to school. It looks like you know that we are gonna give you a ride to school seeing you in your uniform already, Jin said, smiling like a proud father. It's obvious because you guys are wearing the school uniform too. She started she stated. But aren't you guys too early? Yeah, we decided to be the best student, Jungkook said as his chin held high, but went down the second later. Just kidding, he said with a shy smile. We are actually going to hang out, Namjoon said. Right now? Seon, unsure. She never really hang out with someone. Namjoon nodded and smiled at his dimple decorated his cheeks. Yeah, okay. To where? She asked curiously, as her eyebrows were knitted together. Ah, that's a secret, Seon Nuna, Jungkook said, making Seon give a little pout. Aw, you're so cute, Jimin suddenly claimed. Oh my god, Jimin. Jimin is the character that is like always a cutie, my cutie, like that. He goes around her. That's actually find really cute. Like last time I said that I feel like it's going to be a triangle love story between Jimin, Seung, and Taeyong. But then I said, like, after looking at other members' reaction, I said that it might be a octagonal story like that. I don't know if there is a word like that, but yes, that's so interesting. I don't know how story going to take place, but I'm like super excited for how Seon's relationship with all the members will turn out to be. I'm so excited to see that. Let me drink some water. Well, we already know that Seon will end up being with Taeyong because he is the hero. He's the main lead of this. But yeah, I guess. But I really want to see how the relationship with other members is going to, happen. So yes, let's continue. Where was we? Where were we? My English is bad. Okay, so yeah, understand. English is not my first language. Wow, you're so cute, Jimin suddenly claimed, and Seon's expression quickly changed to what the hell face? If you want to know, you have to follow us, Hosok said, excited like a child. Let's go, Taeyong said, grabbing. Okay, I have to remember whenever it's Taeyong, I have to like, let's go. Like he's cold one, so yeah. Let's go, Taeyong said, grabbing her bag. What is Kim Taeyong with grabbing bags? Seon didn't want Taeyong to snap at her when she wanted to take her bags, so she had to fight the urge to do it. As soon as they went inside the car, Jin was driving and humming. Jin, you can drive? Seon asked, shocked. Jin chuckled and nodded. I'm sorry, we woke you up early, Jungkook said softly. You can sleep first. It will take at least 30 minutes to go there. Seon was sandwiched between Taeyong and Jungkook. Oh my god. Stop imagining, girl. Whew. Okay. It's okay, Seon said, smiling. I'm just gonna read a book until we get there. But Seon held the book not more than 10 minutes. She went to dreamland. Seon groaned in annoyance when she felt someone shaking her body. She was having her beauty little sleep. Hey, wake up! She heard a voice calling her. Lee Seon, wake up! Her cheek was poked. Oh, she screamed suddenly and held out her fist, her eyes still closed tightly. Ow! Her eyes quickly opened when she heard the voice that was clearly in pain. She looked Guess who? She punched. It's Taeyong. She looked up and saw Taeyong. Her, her jaw reached the ground instantly. Soeun gasped in shock. Stupid dream! Oh god, he looks like he's in pain. I'm doomed. Is he going to get angry? She came out of her thoughts. Kim Taeyong, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. She apologized continuously as her tear escaped her eyes. Taeyong's face was facing the side and he held his cheek that was punched by Soeun. The punch didn't hurt that much, just a sting. It was a weak punch. As he tilted his head to Soeun with his usual blank face, he spoke. It's okay. Why are you crying? Taeyong said, trying his hard not to let out and groan. It's not like you are hurt, he said again, this time scratching his hair, feeling slightly annoyed. It's not like she's hurt, so why is she crying? Soeun was still sobbing, her small fingers wiping her salty tears. Just was that was like flowing down to her face. Don't cry. Theon's voice was still a bit cold. I'm not hurt. It's okay, he said, throwing at Soeun, that was shaking because she was crying hard. Theon's frown softened just a bit. I'm not hurt, Soeun, Theon said, sighing. Stop crying, he said, patting her head. Soeun, guys, I'm not really, I'm trying to, put the expressions in my dialogues, but sometimes I'm kind of getting confused because, like depending on who is talking and how they are talking, so sometimes I make wrong expressions to the sound voice, like dialogues, and then I found out like they were saying in different tone, like, so he's like, stop crying, he's like consoling her in that type of tone, he said, patting her head. Seo nodded as she sniffed. Did you had a dream? Theong said as one of his eyebrows raised. Seo nodded as she looked at the ground. Please don't ask about my dream. What did you dream about until you have to punch someone in your sleep? Theong asked. Oh shit. This is so embarrassing. Seon looked at Theong. Uh, there is a bad guy trying to punch me, she trilled. I think it's Jackson, and I unexpectedly threw a punch to him in my dream, Seon said, recreating how she did in her dream by swinging her fist. And you throw me one in real life, he said, chuckling. She is unexpectedly cute. Come on, the boys are waiting for us outside, Theong said. Okay, I'm gonna read part 17, like chapter 17. Okay, I'm gonna continue reading chapter 17. This is our secret hideout, Jimin said as Soon was enjoying the view. The view was breathtaking. Cold breeze blew to her face. She sighed. It's like a forest. The air was nice and breezy. This is our secret hideout, Soon asked. Yeah. She's like, this is your secret hideout? Soon asked. Correction. It's ours, Namjoon said with a comfortable smile. Because now it includes you too, he said again. Why did you guys make friends with me? Seon said out of the blue, making the boys speechless. She turned to look with all of them with a confused yet sad expression. Again, What do you mean by that? Theong asked with a single rough tone. Why does she keep asking the same question? I believe that we don't have to answer that, Hosok said. Is it that wrong for us to be friend you? Hosok asked. Some Someone like me shouldn't be hanging out with people like you guys, Soeun said in a timid voice. Namjoon frowned. What is it that you are trying to say? Jimin asked. What is someone like you and people like us supposed to mean? Jimin grumped in a low voice. Someone like me? Again, what is someone like you? Jimin pressed again. I don't deserve to be with all of you. Someone like me can't be with you guys. Jimin sighed as he ruffled his hair with in distress. Taeyong looked at Seon. Do you hate us? Taeyong asked, and Seon immediately shook her head. She was shaking it so hard, Taeyong thought her head was going to fall off. It's not like that. I hate you guys, Seon said, and Taeyong cut her off. Then what is the problem? Taeyong asked again. People will talk about you guys if you keep hanging out with me. Seon shuddered as she was scared because of the boy's glare. We don't care, okay? Yoongi said as he felt his body frying up. We don't care about people talking about us. Yoongi can't handle this anymore. He was angry. He glared at Seon. Seon was a little shocked as she looked at Yoongi. Yoongi, calm down, Jin said as he rubbed Yoongi's back. Yoongi sighed and he looked at Seon with soft eyes. Seon sniffed and choked on her tears. She bit her lips as her tears flowed down again on her cheek. Yoongi groaned and scratched his hair. So fragile, he thought. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. Yoongi apologized. Hey, don't cry, Yoongi said as his eyes went wide. He can't believe he made Seon cry. Nice going, Hyung, Jimin said, glaring at Yoongi. You made her cry. All the boys glared at him. Well, Yoongi wasn't the first one to make her cry this morning because that already Taeyong did that. I just. Hey Seon, I'm sorry. Please don't cry. Yoongi looked at Seon as she was wiping her tears with her fist. I'm sorry. Seon apologized, and all of them shook their head. No, we are sorry, Jin said in a small voice as he went close to Seon. I know, I know why you have these doubts on us, but I hope you can trust us. We want to be with you, Jin said. But, but why? Seon asked, and Jungkook just smiled at her. Seon Nuna is kind. We like spending time with Nuna, Jungkook said. We hope Nuna will feel like that too. Jungkook smiled once more. Jimin looked at Taeyong, then at Seon. Seon, we can't let you go. We like being with you, Jimin said, and Seon signed. Wait, the way, okay, Jimin looked at Taeyong, then Seon. Well, I think everyone is trying to make Seon come close to Taeyong. Like the teacher as well, he set up the, like sitting arrangement. He did that to make Seon and Taeyong come closer. Then he put them into the tuition together, like told Seon to tutor Taeyong. And Jimin and everyone, I just feel like they are trying to, welcome Seon in their group so that she can be close to Taeyong. Is this how the whole thing gonna come? Oh my god. I'm so curious. Let's read it. Okay. Me too. Actually, me too. You guys are so kind for willing to spend time with someone like me, Sion said in her mind, and then she was silent for a few seconds. Let's show her around, Hosok said. Let's. I don't know. When there is SS sound, guys, I'm not able to speak it. Let's show. Let's show her around, Hosok said excitedly. Sion slowly let out a smile. Come on, let's show her around, Hosok said, running as his hands were opening like an airplane. Let's go to the house first, shall we? Namjoon said, making Sion frown her eyebrows. Huh? House? She asked. There is a house? Yes, house. Well, it's Namjoon's, but we all hang out together from time to time, Jimin said. Nobody knows this place except for us, Jin smiled. Namjoon brought the house for us so we can use it together. Seon nodded. Maybe it's a small house. It's not going to be a big mansion, right? You gotta be kidding me, Seon said as her eyes and mouth were both open wide. This is not a house, this is a palace, she trailed. The house is so big, it's almost look like all of the forest grass. Took all of the forest grass. She looked at the house again. She can't believe her eyes. This house is way too big for just 7 people to live in. It looks like those five-star hotels. Is this? Seon stared. Started. What? Seon started. Her mouth was open a gap. Our secret hangout, Jin said as he ran to the door and opened it. Wait, who, whose secret hangout is this big? I wonder. Like, aren't secret hangouts supposed to be small? The boys casually walked inside the house. The house was never messy since Namjoon hired maids to come here to clean the house every week. Come in, Jungkook said excitedly. There's a lot of video games here, he screamed as he jumped around. Ah, that's why this bunny boy is so excited. Seon looked around the house in awe. It was really beautiful, and Seon was drowned deeply into it. Close your mouth, or else the fly will get inside. Taeyong's Taeyong's voice brought her to reality, making her jump, and the boys sniffed a laugh. She ignored what Taeyong said. This house is amazing. Seon was amazed. She kept on looking around. If you thought this is amazing, I just want to tell you that there is a lot more than that. Yoongi smirked. As in a lot? Seon's eyes widened. She was very excited. She never went to a big house before. Well, not this big. What? What's more? Seon was excited. Her eyes were sparkly, making the boys chuckle. Patience, Seon, Namjoon smiled. We will show you. The boys thought that she was so cute at that time. In their eyes, Seon actually looked like an excited, innocent child. It warms their heart. Okay, this is the end of the chapter 17. I, I just can't. I really want to read chapter 18 as well. What do you guys say? Should I continue reading chapter? How many chapters did I read? Like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I read 6 chapters. Okay, I think I should stop here right now. So guys, things are getting good. I'm really enjoying it and I am really excited to read further. So yes, I don't know, maybe tomorrow I'll do live, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I don't know. I will try to do live and read it because I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm just getting out of patience. Like yeah, like Soeun, like she's getting out of patience. Like she wanna see the house. Like yeah, like that. I'm also getting out of patience. I wanna see more, and yeah, that's it, guys. I should end this and come back tomorrow or day after tomorrow. I hope you guys like it. Yeah, I know I'm not really good at it, but I'm trying. And every time I take a like it's been like a week when last I posted the third part did live. I don't know. I just get more timid or I don't know how to express this, but yeah, it becomes weird and I get anxious while reading as the time go by. So I think I should try reading it every day. So I just come over this awkwardness or whatever anxiousness I'm having. Yeah. So I'll try to see you tomorrow or day after tomorrow, however I find time to do it. So next we have chapter 18. So I hope you guys are excited to read it. Like what is the surprise that is waiting for Soeun? Like Yoongi said there is more. So let's see what the guys have planned for her. So yeah, see you next time. And thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. And thank you for everything actually. Yeah. See you next time. Bye bye. See you. Saranghe. Borahe.